Whenever a math teacher is confronted with a student who says that he finds mathematics difficult, the answer that he will give is simply, "You need to practice more." It's a lazy answer. That said, we cannot blame the teacher because he has so much on his plate, like finishing a course on time for a class constituting of 30 plus students. However, it's still not fair on the student. It's like saying that it's okay for the doctor to recommend cetamol to any patient that comes in his room complaining with fever. We all know that a fever is just a symptom. Yes, although cetamol can help, such a doctor would be sued for malpractice. However, in the world of academics, practice is being prescribed to anyone complaining about being weak in mathematics. In the earlier sections, we dealt with 13 components of mathematics. I explained them using the four brain learning approach. Not being able to understand them holistically could have been a cause for being weak in mathematics. However, based on my counseling sessions with hundreds of students who claimed that they were weak in mathematics, I have come to the diagnosis that most of them do not have a systematic process to solve math problems. In this section, this is the medicine that I am presenting here. It takes the form of a parabola or arc as shown in the diagram below. The problem with the students is that instead of using this parabolic framework to solve problems, they think it is a simple straight line. That is where it starts to hurt for them. As you can see in the diagram, there are three phases. The student directly goes to phase 3, that is, solve the problem. But they don't have the fuel or momentum to complete phase 3. What those students have missed are the other two very important phases. The first one is to understand the problem, and the second one is to learn from examples that contain similar problems to the one that has to be solved. Only when this understanding of the nearest example is perfected can the student master the third phase of solving the problem. Just by listening to the teacher in the class and watching him solve the problem on the board is not enough, and the student must go through the earlier two phases in order to solve problems. Only then the student will feel that he is no longer weak in mathematics. This parabolic framework seems quite obvious to some students, while it is a novelty to most students. I will share to you two kinds of dreams related to learning that I have regularly. In one dream, I am climbing a steep slope. It's very hard. I fear that I will fall. In the next type of dream, I am in a downward slope and I am sliding very fast. They occur in intervals. At the beginning, I did not know what it meant, but later on, I realized that the first type of dream where I was climbing the upward slope were the phase 1 and phase 2, that is understanding and learning respectively. It's very hard and tedious as well as unrewarding because you have not done the actual job of solving the problem that you were given. However, once I reach the top of the hill or mountain, it means that I have both understood the problem and learned from the nearest example of it. Then the other type of dream becomes relevant where I just slide downwards. So this diagram is inspired by those two dreams of mine. Since the beginning of this book, I have been telling you that our brain has got two hemispheres, which is the left brain and the right brain. Building on this, I tell those students who say that they are weak in mathematics about this left-right divide of the brain. I tell them that some students are naturally born with great wiring in the left brain, which is related to mathematics, while others are born with effective wiring in the right brain, which is related to language. Those who are naturally imbibed with the former will think that this section on, a, on the parabolic framework for solving math problems is redundant or an insult. They will say, how else can you deduce answers? But those students who are dominated by the right brain or the language hemisphere find my parabolic framework as a novelty, and they appreciate it beyond words. They just get an aha moment and everything makes sense to them. Upon being taught this parabola of learning, I can see their eyes glittering, their nose swelling with pride, and their chest inflating with pride because they know that they have figured it out. Now they know that they will no longer be the losers and math will not be a weakness for them. The main problem with the left brain dominated language based students is that they think that doing math is like writing an essay or writing an exposition and it should come naturally, intuitively. But there is nothing natural and intuitive with mathematics. They are all rules, build upon rules, creating theorems, formulas. Then they go on to create realms of mathematics, build upon more realms of mathematics, and then the whole mathematic field born and sustaining by itself. So unlike in the languages and verbal expressions in mathematics, you just need to know the rules, the processes that have been used earlier. Then you must try to fit them in the nearest possible way to the current problem at hand. Now, this is a long and tedious process for those who have never used this parabolic approach to solving problems. But once the student knows this trajectory of solving problems, he never has to go back. It's like he has learned how to ride a bicycle, he will never forget. I do not know why the teachers do not teach this parabolic framework for solving problems. I suspect that it is because they are naturally left-brained or mathematics based people, and the knowledge that I just provided in this section would come naturally to them, so it did not occur to them that there would be any other way that other people would try to solve the problem, like in a straight line. They must be thinking, how ridiculous can that be? Then as they would advise themselves who are dominated by the right brain, they just say practice. It is this chain of wrong advice that I have tried to break through this section. Now, the students who are language based or right brain dominant also can excel in solving mathematics problems, and they will not feel like losers when faced with difficult mathematics problems. Using this parabolic framework to solve mathematics problems, you can solve any problem in the world. If it's a very complicated problem, it might take a longer time, but if it's mathematics problems, then using this parabola, you can get the answer. Whether you are a math genius or someone who has no natural effective wiring for mathematics or right brain.